We're just excited about all the program success.
And we're ready to get started.
Thanks, Zach. Go Cards.
For Wheeling University Athletics, I'm Zach Ziegler. It's time for another edition of the Anna Kowalska Show. Currently joined by Wheeling University head women's basketball coach Anna Kowalska. And Anya, you guys are riding high right now. You got a huge win on Wednesday against Charleston. You're fourth in a row. Talk about that game and kind of what you saw from your team.
I saw just working hard, working with, playing with heart, playing together, and playing to win the game, and not just playing. And I think we're getting better with that. Defensively, we're getting better in some areas, not all of them. There's some stuff that we need to get better with, but I'm happy how we are clicking in together. I think the chemistry and clicking in together, and how we won that game, and then after the game I saw how they were together celebrating. So that shows you unity, and you want that before a tournament.
And one thing that's really been strong for you guys is the defensive work. You mentioned they're getting better on that side of the ball. You've held opponents to under 55 points in each of the last 3 games. What's been working on that defense, and what have you seen growth-wise?
You know what? Like, sometimes I question myself too, because I watch in the practices and I'm like, we need to work on this, and that. So I'm never satisfied. So I guess when I watch, okay, the final score is whatever the point they score, I'm like, okay, well, I guess that was a good defense. But for me, it's just so that shows that we're actually better. I think we keep people in front of us a little bit better. I think that's what stops a lot of other things to happen when you don't allow middle penetration or penetration overall. There's only one area that we need to get better with, is rebounding. We need to do a better job of crushing the boards. But overall, just like when I'm watching the game and I'm rewatching it next day, I see, the defensive improvement is for sure showing right now.
And it was a big night for Crystal Radicep. She had a huge first half with 12 points, finishes with a career high at 20. Talk about her growth and kind of what you saw from her.
I'm going to be honest with you. This is what I'm expecting from her every game. But I know she's still young. I tell her, like, second, third, fourth year, she's going to be a very, very special player. And in my opinion, she's good now. The only reason, because people look at the points too, but she also is guarding one of the top players on the other side. So as a freshman, when you're coming in and you have to guard, and you see they play 2 bigs, so they were posting us up, and then they had a couple guards who can post up. So I just gave her the player who will post up the most and who's going to be the most physical. So she had to battle that, and on top of it, she had to calm down and then do offensively a lot of things too. And our offense, it's a lot of action, so she has to run a lot too to open up and everything. So I'm pretty impressed with her, how mentally she's and physically how she's handling this, because she has to play both ends of the floor. And that's why sometimes people watch and say, well, she was 0 for this or whatever, she still plays. I'm like, yeah, because defensively she's not allowing that too. So she might score 6-7 points, but she'll allow 6-7 points only too. So people don't realize that when they watch. I said, no, she'll play a lot because she can defend.
One of the girls we highlighted last week, Kenzie Dalton. This week on defense, I want to highlight Bri Henderson, because she's really been stepping up on that side of the ball. Talk about her and how she's able to get those steals and even some big blocks down the stretch.
She was like that since she came here. She, especially last year too. She was playing a lot better too at the end. When we were at Concord, she had a huge game too. Before she went down, she gives us the experience. She gives us the maturity that she has about herself when she comes on the court. And as a coach, when she's on the court, I trust her. She's gonna do the right things. So that's huge. She's one of our upperclassmen, that little that we have. She's one of our little, kind of like a feisty little player who will get stuff. And there's some crucial stuff. She will get some crucial steals. And I think that's what she does really well for us. And offensively, she'll hit 3. She's a 3-way scorer too for us. So I'm pretty impressed with her. But she's a senior. This is her last year, and I keep telling her, like, hey, like this is it for you. So she wanted to get that win against UC. For the past 3 years, we couldn't get that win. So she was extremely happy. But I agree with you. It's her. She gives us a lot of intensity on defense, and the reason why we're holding people to so little is because she's one of the reasons. I told her to guard the best player, the quickest player, on the other team last 2 games. So, and she handles that pretty well.
Currently joined by Wheeling University head women's basketball coach Anna Kowalska. And Anya, girls are on this win streak right now, 4 straight wins heading into February. How big is that as you head into this final month of the regular season for you guys to be clicking the way you are?
I'm gonna be honest with you. That doesn't. I don't focus on that at all. And the reason why is because there's a lot of teams who will go on a winning streak and then they'll get a loss. For me, it's more about like, okay, this is what we did last game. Are we improving right now? Are we getting better the next game? The win, it's awesome to win 4 games in a row. I mean, you want to win games. But we just cannot be content and be okay with that and be happy with that, just because that's when the teams, they lower their energy and they come in less focused. So I keep telling them, like, look, this is what we did last game, right? And then this is the next game. They're playing different style. The state plays totally different style. They play different game. We're going there. You know what I mean? And I think we just need to focus on each game, what our game plan is. Make sure we improve from the last game. And don't look at the streak. I told them, I'm like, just let's focus on the next game. The only thing that I always tell them is the confidence. All right, we won 4 games in a row. That means we deserve to win those 4 games. We defended really hard. So let's take this to the next game. Let's take that confidence to the next game, but not be satisfied with winning 4 games.
And this is a big stretch of games for you right now. You have West Virginia State, as you mentioned, on Saturday. Then you travel to Wesleyan on Wednesday. Talk about this stretch and kind of how you're handling it.
You know, that's why this conference is so hard, because you have really good games, right? And then you look at the incoming schedule, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's not getting better at all. Like, we're playing at Wesleyan, we're playing at State, then Fairmont, then D&E, then we're playing at Glanville. I'm like, it's not getting easier. It's actually getting harder. And the records are so close, and then, you know what I mean, the spacing is so close in the conference. Like, I told my players, I'm like, ladies, if you think it's going to get easier, it's not going to get easier. It's going to be opposite. It's going to get harder. We have to face a lot of teams. And then at the end, you know what I mean, let's go to West Liberty and play. You know what I mean, that's a hard game again. So it's just overall, I tell them all the time. So we just need to take one game at a time, and because this conference is just, on the basketball side especially, it's crazy. It's very demanding and it's very intense. And now I think it's going to get even more intense because the seeding is so close that any team can get in. Any team can be between 2 to like Fairmont is, you know what I mean, separating themselves from everyone else. But beside that, but they still have 2 losses. So it's very close. So every team is going to come in and try to play the hardest. So we got to be ready mentally for this.
And finally, as you guys head down this stretch, you mentioned the seeding is so close. What's your message to your team heading into this final month of the season?
Just work hard. Let's be the tougher team. I think tough together. We need to be tough together. We need to play as a team, and we need to take one game at a time. And just don't look at the big picture right now. Let's just look at the little pictures of us getting better as a team, staying together, making sure we take care of our bodies, make sure we eat right, we sleep, just because that's going to affect our ending.
Thanks, Anya. Good luck this weekend. Can't wait to see you out there.
Thank you.
For Wheeling University Athletics, I'm Zach Ziegler.
We're just excited about all the program success.
And we're ready to get started. Thanks, Zach. Go Cards.